Hello everyone, it's I MechLord back at it again with a classic RANT video. Today's theme is Rush is bad again. Remember when Gaia was like the de facto best deck you could be playing, and it dwarfed the entire competition and it defined an entire Rush metagame, and people hated it and they just wanted Gaia nerfed because it was so strong and everywhere and there was no real reason to play anything other than Gaia? Well, unfortunately, Rush Duel enthusiast, I am the bearer of bad news. It's happening again. And this time we have Seven's Road to thank for it. The new Eternal Galaxy Road mini box included support for 3 really impressive archetypes: Seven's Road, Light Galaxy, and Dark Galaxy. I want to get these two out of the way first because they're essentially the same deck. Which is to say, the decks that encourage you to make big fusions in order to kill your opponent, and they do it a lot. In fact, if you compare the two scales, they're pretty much the same name, and they pretty much have the exact same conditions and effect. The only difference is Light Galaxy gets to play Executing Riding because none of their cards are limited 3, and Dark Galaxy gets to play Dark Hole Device, which is pretty much just Dark Hole, and they get to recycle it and reuse it. A bunch of effects that have to do with it. Speaking of these skills, I think it's really important to know a couple of key things. First and foremost, these skills can both be activated any amount of times per duel, which isn't anything new, but they have different conditions for the extra effect that you get on top of activating the skill. Light Galaxy gets to get an extra prowess, secret order, or fusion from outside their deck twice per duel, whilst Dark Galaxy only gets to mill 3 once per duel. Additionally, Light Galaxy adds cards from outside of your deck, which isn't the first Rush skill to do so, but is the first competent Rush skill to do so, and it won't be the last. But the cream of the crop clearly is Seven's Road, the biggest winner of this new wave of support, which includes a completely broken skill. Master Excel Road has a bunch of effects. Let's read them all together. Can be activated by revealing one Seven's Road Magician, Seven's Road Witch, Swordsman of Roadstar in your hand from turn 2 onward, if all the effect monsters in your constructed deck are spellcaster type monsters. First and foremost, you can just keep activating the skill. It doesn't say once or twice per duel, you can just do it every turn. Which, not a good thing for a skill, I think. Also, effect monsters? Uh-oh, Konami, you forgot normal monsters existed again, ha ha ha. This has led to people tinkering with hero variants of the deck, which, truth be told, aren't the best variants at the moment anyway. But this is the kind of lack of insight that is just typical of Konami by now. Now for the actual effect. Add up to 2 Seven's Road Magician, Seven's Road Witch, Swordsman of Roadstar, and or fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If you added 2 cards to your hand by this effect, also send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard. You know what this means, right? It's basically a +1 that you get to activate every turn, so that your opponent has to deal with Seven's Road every turn forever. They can just keep activating it, they can just keep plussing until the end of times. Isn't that fun? Isn't that neat? This is one of these skills that really bears comparison to the Chivalrous Celerity skill everyone complained about was giga broken and so absurdly overpowered and broke the game. And when you look at Chivalrous Celerity, it doesn't seem all that bad compared to Master Axel Road. For one, it has actual conditions, and the effect doesn't just plus you into infinity, only pluses you once per duel. That's a pretty big plus, but it only pluses you once per duel. And it's not just the skills that make these decks strong, it's the cards too. For instance, if we look at Dark Galaxy, Void Verkrizo has the ability to mill a bunch of cards in order to attack several times this turn, which makes it a pretty potent OTK enabler, and its fusion allows you to revive it, and it's also a pretty big thing. The Dark Galaxy fusions in general are all pretty impressive. Some of them have synergy with the Dark Hole that's gonna be in your graveyard. Mostly they're just big numbers, and they extend your field and get big in numbers. They're really strong cards. Makes you wonder if they really needed a push skill in order to support what was already a very promising archetype. Sky Galaxy is kind of the same. You get a new boss monster in Eternal Galactica Oblivion, which can just grow really big and combined with Meteor Charge allows you to deal massive amounts of damage. And then the rest of the new Light Fusion stuff is just consistency tools, which that's pretty cool. You know, you get to draw a bunch of cards, cycle through your resources. That's kinda neat. Also makes you wonder if the deck really needed its skill to begin with. And then the 7th road. So we got Strange Cat Witch, which has insane synergy with the new skill, because you can use the skill to pitch a 7th road witch that you just search, and then normal the Strange Cat Witch, and revive the 7th road witch. Wow, isn't that insane? Isn't that a good design for a skill? Strange Cat Magician is pretty unremarkable, to be honest. I don't think this one even sees play. But I'm mentioning it here because, for some reason, Konami just completely botched the effect. That's not the correct effect. I don't know how they did that, or why they did that. It's just further proof of Konami's complete incompetence. And then there's the new fusions that you get to access super easily with the skill. 7 Rose Charm Witch can get piercing, which means it can deal massive amounts of damage throughout the course of a duel. 7th Road Ultima Witch isn't all that impressive, just recycles your spells, which, you know, that's actually not that bad. It does have a huge attack stat though. And Master of the 7th Road is just permanently big, and it can even get piercing sometimes, which is great. I love playing against Master of the 7th Road. Here's a quick question for you. What happens when you take pretty powerful cards that would have been good on their own and give them a completely bonkers skill to go with? The answer is, you have a 3-deck format where only these 3 decks are playable and nothing else. Wow, isn't that fun? It sucks even further because the meta was just starting to recover from Gaia TS era. We started to see a lot of deck diversity in tournaments and on ladder and stuff. Like, people were having fun with Rush Duels, and now we're back to this bullshit. So that's great. Wow, sure look forward to the next month of playing Rush Duels. I don't. But what do you think? Do you think the new completely bonkers wave of support justifies ruining the Rush Duel format? Are you having fun playing Rush Duel somehow? Let me know in the comments of this video. And thank you for watching. Hey, it's me, Meklo, once again. Thanks for watching, everyone. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Additionally, if you'd like to support me further, you can check out my Ko-fi in the video description, where you can make a one-time donation or a monthly pledge. I would like to thank my Ko-fi donators in the forms of Dingus, Childish Boy Zero, Jimmy, Yannick, Sile, Mark Lou, Fortuno16, The Abyss Actor Guru, Orc Price, and Exorcist. And that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching once again. I am not touching Rush Duels with a 10-foot pole for the next couple of months because clearly this is not good skill design. This is not good deck design, and it's only getting worse. I'm starting to think that maybe Loom was right and Rush Duels were a mistake to begin with. Oh no. Anyway, thank you all for watching once again. Take care everyone, and I will see you all next time.